Hey everybody, I'm back. We just downloaded Node and now we're going to really quickly learn how to use it in the simplest of simple ways. And so we're going to build just a simple one-line application. And if I make a folder, drag that into VS Code, you can see I've got a folder here. And I can create a file called index.js. And Node is can run that index.js for us. So actually, before we make this really simple one-line application, let's make a simple several-line application. So we'll say something like const x equals 2, y equals 3, and we'll say function add is going to take in x and y, and it's going to log out x plus y. We'll run that function. We'll say sum and pass in, sum, what is going on? We'll pass in x and y. And now, so when I run this file using node index.js, I gave the wrong function name. Try that again. Node, and we get 5, right? Which is, so that's the output of this function. You can see Node lets us run JavaScript. Now, but what's really cool about it is not just that, but that it gives us access to the Node package manager and the amazing software that people made. Right. And so just as a little demo, we're going to install this software, Budo, which we're also going to be using in my Regal course, which you can find a link to down below if you're not already involved in that. And Budo lets us run a live reloading server. So it's a little bit like live server in VS Code, but live server doesn't let us run JavaScript files. It lets us run HTML files. And what Budo lets us do is just run a simple JavaScript application in the browser without any need for that pesky HTML. So let's install it now. I'm going to initialize npm, and I'm going to pass in this flag -y so I don't have to write in all this stuff. It just gives me a package.json with some presets. And I'm going to install now a dependency for my project, which is going to be Budo. And we're going to say npm install Budo. Oh, and actually, I meant to pass in a flag that would save Budo as a dependency in this project. And I'll explain why in a second. So right here, oh, there it is. I do have a dependency. Never mind. It saved it. So I think maybe it does that by default now. So I've got this Budo dependency. And what does that mean? That means that, oh my gosh, I just downloaded all this stuff into this folder called Node Modules. And one of those things is, of course, Budo. And Budo, in turn, has all these other dependencies, including, as you can see, Browserify. And so Browserify is here, and we can look up in the Node Package Manager. We can see Budo is a Browserify server for rapid prototyping. So Budo is built on top of Browserify, which is built on top of Node. And you can see there's 30 dependencies for Budo. You can see those are all the dependencies. So when I download Budo, I download all of those. And similarly with Browserify, we can look at Browserify and we can see it's got 48 dependencies. Look at all those dependencies. And so this is all code that people wrote. This is really the beauty of open source code, that somebody can write a thing called deps sort with 4 dependencies that is a very straightforward project. What does it do? It just returns a new stream that should get written module deps objects and will output sorted objects. I don't even know what it does exactly, but we could ask Substack, who made Browserify, and he'd probably be able to tell us why he used it in his project. Yeah, so we downloaded Budo, and now we can use it. We can call in here. I can say, and what I'll do is I'll use it by getting rid of this function, and I'll say alert, which is a thing we're able to do in the web browser, right? We're able to say alert, and we get a little pop-up that'll say, hello, everyone. Now, without Budo, we don't really get anything when we do that. We'll say node index.js. I'm not going to run Budo. It says alert is not defined. Because what is alert? Alert is a browser method. Well, the beauty of Budo is it gives us access to all of the window methods from the browser. And so instead I can say Budo open index.js. And now it opens a browser window for me, and it runs that JavaScript. And that's pretty much all I got to say for you right now, except for in another set of videos, which you can see a link to down below, or maybe you can just go back to them and you just came to these videos because you wanted to learn a little bit about Node. We're going to use Budo. We're going to use, and I'll just Control-C to quit this. We're going to do things like npm install Budo Browserify Regal GL SLify, and we'll install all that software and use it. And we could also install P5. We could install all kinds of really, really useful stuff. And so, yeah, hope that helped someone, and I'll see you in the Regal videos.